Hill Country Hands. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today's video is going to be an update on how our first week home with Hunter has been, and just how my postpartum recovery is going, and just a little life update for everybody. If you're new to my channel, I do motherhood lifestyle videos. So I started my YouTube channel about 6 months ago to share my journey with hyperemesis when I was pregnant with Hunter. I had to be on meds continuously through a PICC line. Wanted to bring awareness about hyperemesis because it's something that most people don't know a whole lot about, and maybe reach some other mamas that had hyperemesis just to help them not feel so alone, because it was a very tough, sometimes lonely condition to have. So that's why I originally started my YouTube channel. I also have a lot of different mommy topics. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. And I do new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. I've still been trying to keep up with that, even though I just had Hunter a week ago. So Hunter is doing great. He is sleeping right now, which he does a lot of sleeping, but he's doing really well. We've been home for about a week now from the hospital. I'm recording this video on Friday. I plan on posting it on Tuesday. Of course, we've had a couple nights that have been a little bit tough, just because he was cluster feeding, wanting to eat every half hour to an hour, and just seemed like he was uncomfortable. But he's been better the last few nights. I've been able to get a lot more sleep the last few nights. He's been on more of a every 2-hour schedule instead of every half hour, which has been really nice. But that's to be expected. That's how it was with Mackenzie. I am pretty much, for the most part, exclusively breastfeeding. I will be honest, we have given him a couple bottles of formula because I haven't been feeling that great and needed some rest. So Justin has given him a couple bottles of formula that we got sent home with from the hospital. But for the most part, he is being just breastfed. If you hear a loud noise, sorry. My husband is working on replacing a window right now. It's a little bit loud in our house right now. He has gained some of his weight back. They were a little concerned at the hospital because I guess most babies do lose weight after birth, and as long as it's less than 10%, that's okay. If it's more than 10%, they start getting concerned. His was 9% one day and then 8.5% the other day, so they definitely wanted to keep an eye on it. They're happy with the amount of weight that he's gained. We went and had a doctor's appointment so we got home from the hospital on Friday, and then we had a doctor's appointment with our pediatrician on Sunday and then on Wednesday. So both days he'd gained weight. We are going back to the pediatrician next week just to make sure that he's still gaining weight. But that was really their only concern with him. So besides his weight though, everything looked great, which I was very relieved and happy, because I didn't know if, my hyperemesis has been affecting him, or if all the medications that I've been on for so many months had been affecting him at all. But they said that he is healthy and looks great. Even though he weighed more whenever he was born than Mackenzie did, he wasn't as long as Mackenzie was, and he just seems smaller. I don't know if it's just because it's been such a long time since Mackenzie was a newborn, or if he really is, but Mackenzie outgrew her newborn clothes in about a week or so. They were a little bit tight on her. His newborn clothes, size newborn, is still pretty big on him. I mean, he's not teeny tiny, but newborn clothes are still pretty large on him. They're pretty long, pretty loose. We were so excited to find out that it was a boy whenever we were at the delivery. We waited till the delivery, till she pulled him out to find out if it was a boy or a girl. We were super excited because Justin and I have always wanted one of each, so we definitely feel like our family is complete now. We're super happy to have him home and go through all the newborn stages again that we went through with Mackenzie. It has been a little bit of an adjustment having 2 under 2 is a little difficult at times. I'm glad that Justin has some time off from work to help me right now because it's a little bit of a handful. Mackenzie is so good with him. She was so excited when we first brought him in. When we got home, my parents met us here. When we first brought him in, she just wanted to hold him right away and cuddle him and kiss him and touch him. And she always comes up to his nose and goes, "No, nose." Like she's trying to say nose, and she'll like poke his nose, which I'm sure he probably doesn't like all the time. But she's always very concerned when he's crying. The first 2 days, whenever he would cry, she would start crying like tears. It made her really sad. But she's realized now that he cries a lot and that it's okay, I think, because now she gets concerned, but she doesn't start crying anymore. But she doesn't seem to really have a whole lot of jealousy. There are times whenever I'm breastfeeding him, I feel like she does get jealous. And then there are times whenever my mom is showing him attention, and I can tell that makes her a little bit jealous because she's used to having Nana's full attention. But she's done really good, better than I thought that she would have. I thought we might have a little bit of more jealousy issues or her be upset. I was really worried that she was going to be upset, but she loves him. Whenever we've had to take him to his doctor's appointments, she gets really sad when we leave, and then when we bring him back in the carrier, she's so excited to see him. She is a little rough with him. She can be really rambunctious, so it's hard for her not to be around him, especially whenever we help her hold him. She gets so excited whenever we first give him to her. We have to keep an eye on that just because we don't want him to get hurt. But otherwise, she's doing really well with having a sibling. But I still can't believe that I'm a mommy to two and that I am a girl mom and a boy mom now. I just feel so blessed and lucky, and I'm so glad that everything worked out the way that it did, and we've had a first good week with him. He's a week and a day old at this point. Just soaking up all the newborn cuddles and his newborn smell and everything. Just been enjoying having him here finally. It felt like a really long pregnancy since I had, all my hyperemesis issues and stuff. So we are very blessed and excited to have him here. But if I'm being completely honest, postpartum has not been easy for me. There's been a few things that have happened that I've been frustrated have happened because it's just not typical things that happen to people. One of the things is that my left foot, the bottom of my left foot, is still numb from getting the epidural and anesthesia from the C-section. It hasn't really improved at all since we left the hospital. The doctor and the nurses were hoping that slowly, like each day, I would start getting more feeling back to it, but I haven't, which is scary because I, of course, worry, like, what if I don't get the feeling back? I am able to get around, but it's painful and it's hard. I can't walk like I normally do. It feels like your foot's asleep, but worse than that. When I'm putting my foot down on the floor, I really can't tell that it's on the floor. But if you like run your nails across the bottom of my foot, I can feel that. It feels like needles, like very prickly. I am able to move it though and move my toes, but I can't feel it. And the more that I walk, the more that it hurts, and then it gets more swollen. Foot is a little more swollen than the other foot, and then it's also colder, so I've been wearing a sock on my left foot, but on my right foot I don't have a sock on. It does have good blood flow to it though. She said my pulses are good. It's good that I can move it. I went to the doctor yesterday and she said let's give it a few weeks, and if it's still not better then she's going to send me to see a neurologist. But it's frustrating. I know it's nobody's fault. It happened. She said it's extremely rare, which is frustrating to me because I feel like all the extremely rare stuff always happens to me. But it is what it is, so we're dealing with it. I have had a couple of days where I've been very frustrated about it though, because I just want to be able to walk around and take care of my kids and enjoy my time with, being a family of four right now. And it's just is painful and I can't really walk around very much. So that's been going on, which hasn't been fun, but I am hopeful that in the next few weeks that it just slowly gets better. Hasn't yet, but it's only been a week. Justin keeps reminding me that, I'm not going to feel great. I did have a C-section 8 days ago, so I can't expect to feel wonderful at this point. But I just want my foot to be better. So that's been going on, and then when we got home Friday night, we realized that I had a really bad reaction to the maxi pads that they put on you. Anybody that has had a baby knows that they put these huge maxi pads on you with, your postpartum bleeding, and my reaction to it is that I got blisters and sores all over my bottom. Those maxi pads are pretty big. I showed one in my postpartum must-haves video. I mean, they're huge. So I have blisters and sores the entire length of that. It's in the shape of a square. On my bottom, you can see that in the shape of a square, my bottom is discolored and healing. It's better now. Saturday, we almost went to the hospital because I was in so much pain. At that point, it was blisters, like an open wound, just like oozing a ton. It sounds disgusting. It was disgusting. So that was frustrating as well. First, I thought they were bed sores, but I wasn't in bed long enough to have that. And then we realized also that it was in the shape of a square. So it was a reaction to the pad, but the same thing happened. It's like the same reaction I had with my PICC line. I became allergic to those adhesives. With my pregnancy and hyperemesis, for some reason my skin is very sensitive. I've never had super sensitive skin. I mean, even if I put a Band-Aid on, I start getting blisters and a rash. So any adhesives are not good for my body. The doctor made sure that we didn't put anything over my incision that would cause any kind of reaction, and then they wrapped my IV like in Cobian instead of the tape that they typically would. So they were extremely careful with me, but nobody would have thought that or known that the maxi pad would have been causing something like that. So they're getting better. Sounds super gross. Now I have it all dried up, so now it's like the skin's flaking off. It's still uncomfortable, but it's much better than it was over the weekend. The weekend was some hard days for us. It was extremely hard. Having a newborn, being home, breastfeeding, him not sleeping very much, and me being in so much pain. It was rough. But that happened, and then I also don't have the sensation to go pee, so if I don't set an alarm or remind myself to go to use the bathroom, I don't ever feel like I have to. So that's not good either. My doctor said yesterday that's kind of more concerning than my foot, but she does think they're related since they're both neurological. Like, she thinks something may have happened, with the nerves or something, because my foot and my bladder sensation issue. Since I am able to go to the bathroom, she said that that's, okay. She did give me a medication to try for a week that's supposed to help give you that sensation back that you need to go to the restroom. So we're hoping that gets better with that. And then I also developed a really bad rash in the last few days, which is what also happened with my PICC line. I had the reaction to the adhesives, and then I had a rash all over my body. At the time, they thought that it was some of my medications causing the rash, but it wasn't. So same thing is happening right now, since I had the blisters and everything on my bottom from the pads. Now I'm getting the full body rash all over. I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm not sunburned. I'm not even very tan right now. But it's all over my chest, my back, my thighs, my arm, my hand, up towards my ear. So I'm just extremely, extremely itchy. This popped up a couple of days ago. The doctor was concerned about that too, because she just said, obviously I'm having such a bad reaction. So she did give me steroids to take for 5 days and a steroid cream. if that doesn't get better with that, she said that, I really need to go to the ER to try to get seen by a dermatologist quicker or some kind of specialist. She's really surprised that I'm still having these issues since I'm not pregnant anymore, but she said, we're only postpartum a week, so I do have some residual hormones going on. But she's never seen anything quite like it, and she just hopes that the steroids help, and then after this, hopefully my skin will get back to normal the further postpartum out that we get. So I'm hopeful that it gets better. It's miserable. It's hard to sleep because I'm so itchy. I am taking Benadryl pretty much around the clock, and then those new meds that she gave me as well. So really hoping things get better, because it's frustrating because it's just weird stuff. My incision site isn't comfortable. It's painful, but all this other stuff going on that typically wouldn't happen to somebody is what's causing me discomfort and pain, like my foot and the rash and my bladder and all these other issues. So it's just frustrating, but it'll get better. I hope. I know the rash will get better, and hopefully my bladder issue and my foot will slowly get better with time as well. So that's just me being completely honest about postpartum, not trying to sound like a downer or anything like that. We are extremely happy and feel very blessed that nothing else is going on. We have so much to be thankful for. Baby's healthy, I'm healthy. These things happen. It's just random stuff that feels like only happens to me, but it'll get better. What's going on with my postpartum stuff? My hyperemesis, obviously the skin issue is still there, but the nausea and vomiting is pretty much gone. I do have some nausea off and on, but I feel like maybe that just has to do with the some of the meds I'm on and just being a week out of having a C-section, because it's not comfortable, and I think my body's just getting back to normal, and my body was used to having Zofran 24/7 for the last 7 months, so I've been taking Zofran once or twice a day if I need to, but for the most part the hyperemesis stuff is good, which I'm very thankful for. No more PIC, no more meds every couple hours or anything like that. I will be adding a video of Kenzie's reaction and us coming home and him meeting sister. And I also am going to start working on our birth vlog. I am a little bit disappointed I didn't get as much video as I'd hoped for the birth vlog from the hospital, just because we didn't get up to a room for a while, so we were in recovery, which was not a room. It's kind of like an ER bed. There's just curtains everywhere. So it was kind of weird for me to do a lot of filming there, and then obviously I had a C-section. We couldn't film in there. And then once the epidural and the pain meds that they gave me from the delivery wore off, I was in quite a bit of pain, so that was kind of the last thing on my mind was taping stuff, doing some videos. So, but I do want to share with y'all what I do have and put together a video. So that will be coming soon. So turn on your notification bell so that you know whenever I post a new video. But it is every Tuesday and Thursday that I post new videos. So this is a close-up of Hunter. Hunter, can you open your eyes? Baby. Like I said, he sleeps a lot. You don't want to show everybody your sweet eyes? No. Thank you to anybody and everybody that's been checking up on us, postpartum stuff, seeing how we're doing and how baby's doing. We really appreciate it. I just can't believe that he's ours. I also wanted to show y'all postpartum my belly looks like. So it's much better than it was, but I still look like I'm a couple months pregnant. But that's being truthfully honest on how I look postpartum. So that is what my postpartum belly looks like right now. One of the things I was surprised with Mackenzie's delivery and birth and everything was a couple weeks after the delivery, I still looked like I was a couple months pregnant. I didn't know that, it takes your body a while to get back down to normal, and I've gained a lot more weight this pregnancy despite the hyperemesis. So I know that it's going to be a little bit harder to get off some of that weight this time than it was with Mackenzie. But that's just a little look at what my belly looks like postpartum 1 week after the C-section. So that wraps up our video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you. Say bye. Hunter.